On this special night, we also celebrate and recognize the 20th anniversary of the Robert E. Kirby Award given by the New Hampshire Bar Foundation. The award is presented to an outstanding lawyer and colleague 35 years old or under. In 1996, John Kacavas was awarded the first annual Kirby Award. John currently serves as Executive Vice President and Chief Legal Officer and General Counsel of Dartmouth-Hitchcock. Prior to joining Dartmouth-Hitchcock in April 2015, John was appointed United States Attorney for the District of New Hampshire by President Barack Obama in August 2009. John's career also includes years in private practice and at the New Hampshire Attorney General's Office and the U.S. Department of Justice. On this 20th anniversary, it is my pleasure to invite John Kacavas up here tonight to say a few words about the award and Bob Kirby, in whose honor the award is named.
Good evening. Thank you, everyone. Before I start, let me please extend my congratulations to you, Judge Barbadoro, for such a well-deserved recognition. I am profoundly honored to be associated with this award, and I am deeply humbled to be counted among the number of Kirby Award recipients who, over the last 20 years, have made their mark in law, in government, in public service, on the bench, and at the bar. And at this point, I'd ask all the prior Kirby Award winners to please stand and be recognized. So before my friend Gordon McDonald introduces tonight's Kirby Award recipient, Anthony Galdieri, I have the privilege to take a moment or two to tell you a little bit about the person for whom this award is named, Bob Kirby. I first met Bob Kirby in the summer of 1975 when we were rising freshmen at Central High School here in Manchester. And I know that you're doing the mental calculation, and yes, that's about 5 years before Anthony was born, a painful admission. I don't remember the day, I don't remember the month, but I remember it was summertime because my family had just moved across town and I was on my bike in search of a basketball game. And I remembered that there was a basketball court at St. Catherine's Church on Webster Street. Single hoop, no longer there, between the church and the school. And as I was on my bike on my way to that court, from afar I could make out the silhouette of a kid shooting hoops by himself. And as I got closer to the court, I could see that the kid was a little bit on the short side. He was a little bit on the chubby side. But what stood out to me most about this kid's appearance was that he was wearing plaid Bermuda shorts that were down below his knees, black socks, and white low-cut Chuck Taylors. It was quite a look in 1975, the days of the short shorts and white socks. And so I can tell you, for all of you who think that that urban look was popularized by the Michigan Fab Five in the 1990s, I am here to tell you with personal knowledge that it was Bob Kirby of Manchester, New Hampshire, who popularized that trend in 1975. Well, Bob welcomed me to his home court with a smile that revealed a mouthful of braces, and I was immediately drawn to him. And you know, as I've reflected on that encounter over the years since Bob died, I realized that he was always mature beyond his years. Unlike a lot of 14-year-olds who may have perceived this kid on a bike, this new kid on a bike, as an interloper or as a threat to the established neighborhood order, Bob saw an opportunity to make a connection. And so we shot hoops together, and we played one-on-one, and we began a friendship that day. And we ran in the same circles in high school, and we shared a lot of happy times, and we saw each other less frequently when we were in college. And we went our separate ways to pursue higher education. And Bob's path to the law was a little more direct than mine, because by the time I was admitted to the New Hampshire Bar in 1990, Bob was either already a partner or close to becoming a partner at the Gallagher, Callahan Gartrell firm. In fact, I think, and I'm looking at Judge McAuliffe, I think you recruited him out of law school to be the managing partner. Everybody recognized that Bob was mature beyond his years. And it was not long after I was admitted to the bar in 1990 when Bob and I ran into each other one morning at the Belknap County Superior Court. And we decided we'd go to the Tilton Diner for lunch and reconnect. And as I've reflected on that encounter over the years, what stood out to me and what stands out to me is that on that day, Bob was just as warm and welcoming and generous as he was on the first day that I met him in that summer of 1975. Despite his early success as a young attorney, Bob Kirby hadn't changed a bit. He was just better dressed. In other words, while Bob Kirby was a successful young attorney, that's not who he was. He didn't let his profession define him. He defined it. He brought his humanity, he brought his decency, and he brought his maturity to the practice of law. Bob Kirby personified all the qualities for which this award stands. And it's an award through which his memory will live on, providing inspiration to all of us and instruction to young attorneys for generations to come. Thank you.